Welcome back to the channel, guys. Hope everyone's doing well. Today we're going to be talking about this bad boy. So this is the JACKERY Explorer 500, and this is basically a power bank. It can charge from solar and it can power USB devices, 12-volt devices, and also mains powered devices as well. All in this neat little package. Oh look, it's got a torch as well. So if you've been following the channel for a little while, guys, you know I absolutely love stuff like this, especially at the moment with Storm Eunice whisking through the UK and causing loads of power cuts. Stuff like this is really handy to have. You know, it allows you to just power devices, you know, low power devices for this sort of thing, but it's super useful. So let's take a closer look at it. It's not actually that heavy, considering it's a 500 watt hour power bank, which means it's got 500 watt hours of energy stored in it. So it will run a 500 watt device for about an hour. That's basically what that means. So around the front here, you've got this display, which is backlit, which is nice. Shows you your capacity remaining. You've got an input and output meter on there as well. So input basically is telling you what's going into the power bank. So if you're charging it from mains or solar, and then you've got an output as well, which is super useful actually. So through the input port on here, you can charge via the included mains adapter. You can also charge via solar, which I'll show you in a minute. And you can also charge by car adapter as well, which is around here somewhere. Oh yeah, it's in the car. And you know, all these kind of charging methods use this sort of plug. It's like a kind of, yeah. Basically, you can't mix these up. This is a different size plug to the output, so you can't put an output in an input, which would be obviously bad. So it's really simple to use. All the outputs have got a little button with a little LED on it, so you can actually see, you know, what's actually on and what's off. You can turn them on and off just by pushing the button. These are USB outputs. They are 2.4 amps. So it's not power delivery. It's not like super high power USB, but it gets the job done. It's a good solid output. I've been using this to charge, you know, devices, power banks, batteries, all sorts of stuff. And it's actually really good. It works solidly, no problem at all there. Actually, what you could do is you could plug in, you know, like a sort of higher powered charger from this one, because this one will take 10 amps. So that's going to give you like 120 watts output on there. I've tested it up to that 10 amps and it is kind of accurate. It will deliver about 10 amps out of there. And then you've got these two sockets. Now they didn't actually supply a socket or a plug that would fit into this at first. So I had to kind of contact them, and actually they ended up sending me these. So this little thing, which is basically like a car accessory socket to an output. So you can, I mean, it's not really much point. You might as well, if you're going to use a car socket, you might as well use this, but it's a way of doing it. They just supply this. You could always cut that off and connect that to whatever you wanted to do. Now I think that 10 amps is obviously across the whole lot, so you can't have 10 amps per socket. I don't think, I haven't tried it, but that'd be interesting to know as well. So yeah, flick it round. You've got like a torch on there as well, which is quite useful if you're using it outdoors. Why do all power banks have torches on? Underneath, there's a little panel here which shows you some specs, which I'll turn it around. Yeah, so inside it, it's got a lithium ion battery, which is 24 amp hours, 518.4 watt hours. So that is the energy that's stored in the battery inside it. Obviously, you're going to get less if you're using the inverter, because it's going to be, the efficiency is not quite as good. DC output, 24 volts, 3.75. I think that is, oh no, DC input. So you can run solar panels up to 24 volts or any input up to 24 volts at 3.75 amps. So that's like, I think from my experiments, I managed to get 100 watts into this, you know, maximum power input to charge it. So that's still going to take like 5 hours to charge it. That's the fastest you're going to be able to charge this thing. So yeah, it would have been nice to see a bit faster charging, but I don't think realistically it's going to be that possible. So there you see, like, 2 DC outputs, total 120 watts. Now, one thing I will say about this unit is the power outputs are actually really clean. So if you're using it for like radio stuff, it's actually really good. Well, there's not a lot of noise created by the kind of step up converters or step down converters or the inverter or whatever. If you turn the inverter on, you will get some noise, but if you're using it for like DC stuff, it's actually super clean. So charging it's really easy. Just plug in the power supply and then just click that into there. And then you see immediately it starts to charge 85 watts, which isn't bad at all really. So we've got 5 watts going out at the moment, and that's just because the inverter is on standby, which isn't a bad standby power draw actually for an inverter. That's pretty good, 5 watts. You can hear a fan spin up as well when you sort of just initially turn that on. So it's all nicely cooled. I think went up to about 13 watts there. I don't know what that's about. It's probably the fan. So as I say, this is probably going to take about 5 hours to charge, you know, from zero. from the mains. It's just the nature of these things. They're, you know, it's 500 watt hours of energy in here, so it is quite a lot. So who's this for then? Who's going to find this thing useful? What will it charge? What are you going to use it for? So you're not going to be able to use it to run like fan heaters or anything like this, although it kind of will start, and there is actually hot air coming out of there. It will start to do it, but immediately you'll get this little warning sign. And that's understandable. This is like a 2 kilowatt heater, although I have got it on the 1 kilowatt setting. If you had a 500 watt fan heater, I have got one around here somewhere, but I can't find it. It would actually work. I've tried it. It does actually work really well. Just bear in mind, it's only going to last about an hour running at 500 watts. Where it really does shine though, and what it's actually designed to do, is move power from one place to another. So charging things that can't be charged from USB or stuff like that, you can plug into the main socket and happy days, you're going to get a charge without having to run extension leads and all sorts of other things. It's actually really convenient sometimes to just take mains power to where you need to work. So like a soldering station, for example, something like that would be fine, but you're not going to be able to run like a heat gun or something like that. It's just too much power. But they do a bigger version of this. So that would be something to look at. Anyway, let's take a look at the solar panel. So yeah, it's a 100 watt, 18 volt panel. I think it's made by SOLARSAGA. I think that's the idea. It's like a collaboration between JACKERY and SOLARSAGA. If we get it out, see, it's got a nice carry handle. So it has these like kind of sort of stands. I've got it the wrong way around. But basically those, the idea is those will actually allow you to prop it up. It'd be a lot easier if I wasn't holding the phone. At the angle, at the optimum angle, so you're going to get the most energy out of it. And then this little pouch here, I think that must be your leads. Yeah, so you've got kind of little, it's actually got a USB charger on there as well. So USB-A and a USB-C 5 volt 3 amps. So that's pretty cool. You can use this as a standalone sort of device. That's obviously our cable. That must be some adapter for some reason. I'm not sure what that is. So let's stick it outside on the balcony. I'm not expecting much to happen today because there's not any sun at all, but it'd be interesting to see what it'll get on a really grey day. So funnily enough, that adapter doesn't actually fit the charge port. It's that one. So let's see what's happening. So we're getting 2 watts. That's actually more than I was expecting, to be honest. I wasn't expecting to get anything at all. It is really grey. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see what that goes up to on a really nice day. It's gone up to 3 watts now. So this little setup would actually be really cool for camping or something like that, because you could, you know, keep all your devices topped up. You could also keep yourself warm as well if you've got a little 500 watt heater, low power heater, or an oil filled radiator or something like that. Like I say, it actually work really well. What I'm finding with this is it's actually really good to keep in the car as well. So I've got the car charging cable plugged into the accessory jack of the car, and then when you plug it in, what you notice is it goes up to about 28 watts. See there, 29, 28. Now if we start the car, what happens, it goes up to about 85 watts. So that's pretty interesting. So you can leave that plugged in and it'll actually charge pretty quickly in the car. So I'm going to go and take my RC car out for a blast, and when I come back to the car I should be able to charge the battery using my mains power charger. Good thing about parking behind a Lambo is you know you're not going to stick out. Time for a charge. Another tool that I can charge from the JACKERY. Right, that's finished charging. Sun's come out as well. I might just give the solar panel another test. Right, when that sun comes out from behind the clouds up there, we'll see what we get. So at the moment we're getting 13. Look at that, it's going up. 20. Once that comes out the other side of there, here we go guys. Getting 63 watts. It's almost in full sun now. What are we getting? So 61, around 60 watts. For this time of year, I wouldn't have said that's bad. This panel's got a really nice way of folding up as well. It's got little magnetic kind of things there, so it just clicks in. Really cool. So back inside now, look, I've actually put the panel up there. It does get so hot in this room because the sun just beams in. So actually like that would act as a really good sunblock and also help to charge the JACKERY down here. So this is where the JACKERY stays pretty much, you know, all the time now. It's been about 2 months since JACKERY first sent me this, and I've been using it every day since then, so I can give you guys, you know, a proper good kind of overview and test and obviously test it out thoroughly. But yeah, it's basically down here. It runs, it charges, you know, it runs basically everything that I need to do on the low power side in here. So this is obviously my home office and kind of Radio Shack. I've got LED lights in here which all run from this. So actually when the power cut happened over the weekend, I didn't even know, because I was running off the Jackery. So one thing you can do with this is you can obviously get it to charge, or charge it at night when your energy's cheaper. I don't even know if those sort of tariffs exist anymore, but that was a good idea at the time, because you could kind of charge it up cheaply, and then obviously, you know, I mean, you're not saving a huge amount of money, and if you're going to buy one of these things, then obviously the cost of that is way more than what it's going to cost you on electricity. Of course, that goes with the solar as well. So, you know, the investment of this and the fact that this battery is going to degrade over, you know, 5-10 years, you know, not significantly, but it obviously you're going to have to replace it eventually. It just doesn't really make sense to sort of go that route. I've got this for free, so I'm laughing, because I can just charge this up, and basically any energy that I get is completely free of charge. But swings and roundabouts, I've spent a fortune on other stuff, so you know, that's how it works. But anyway guys, I hope you've enjoyed this one. I hope you found it useful. I would say the Jackery Explorer 500 is one of the best, or if not the best one that I've tested so far, mainly for the fact that it's a very clean output. You know, if you're running sensitive equipment and stuff off of it, it's a really nice output. And also it's light, it's easy to carry around. The solar panel's awesome quality, as is the actual power bank itself. So yeah, if you're thinking of getting one of these, grab a Jackery, highly recommend it.